Hello and welcome to the Recon Cast, a regular topic-based podcast show featuring myself and one, if not both of my sisters, Louise and Vanessa, and within which we are going to discuss all sorts of things from games, movies, TV, popular culture, to the sort of silly stuff you might talk about with your mates, like zombies or time travel and such shenanigans. This will usually be recorded once a month and split up into 3 topics and a compilation. So 4 separate videos that will be posted roughly once a week throughout each month. So if that sounds like your sort of thing, then sit back and enjoy. Topic 1. What are your thoughts on the Nintendo Switch announcement and the idea of a console hybrid in general? Now that a lot of rumours have been confirmed and it's all out in the open. So obviously the trailer's been released and, you know, we've all seen the things. And there's also, you know, been further rumours and stuff carried on from there onwards. So I'll just say a few key points and stuff. Just, you know, some of the announcements and, you know, rumours and things. So basically the things that haven't been announced are the price, the battery life and the cost. There's some rumours of it apparently having 4 gigs of RAM as opposed to the Xbox One and PS4's 8 gigs of RAM. This one's just a doozy. This completely, I was just like, what the fuck? This makes no sense. But you know, Skyrim in the advert, you see him playing Skyrim. Skyrim is not officially confirmed by Bethesda as being on the Switch or NX, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's all over that advert. It's like, what does they, why would you do that if it's not even
Isn't that going to get them into trouble?
It could, theoretically, although I suppose it's technically not an advert yet because they're not selling it, but it's more of an announcement trailer. But yeah, it is false advertising. It's like they're being like, oh yeah, we're representing hardcore gamers now. We're getting hardcore third-party games like Skyrim, but you're not, because Bethesda haven't decided whether they're going to ship it yet to the NX or whatever. And presumably, if they do ship it, it's going to have to be the remastered one or whatever. Because, you know, what's the point in pushing a 7-year-old game or something, 7-year-old game onto a new console? That would make no sense unless it's the remaster. So. Anywho, also in the trailer, there's a new Mario game that is being hinted towards, which kind of looks like, you know, Mario 64 and Sunrise. It looks like it takes from that more than something like Mario Galaxy and stuff like that. There's also rumours of possible hand tracking or waggle support for the Wii remote, the original Wii. But they've not
waggle
been
support.
You are?
Waggle support.
You know,
like
the waggle
motion
controllers.
type controllers.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were nicknamed the waggle controllers because it wasn't particularly accurate, and you just, you know, waggle at stuff basically, wouldn't you? It's like when you're doing the boxing or whatever you're doing. They weren't the most accurate of control schemes, were they?
No,
but yeah, so there's rumours of whether each one of those controllers, because you know they pull off and you can hold them separately in your hand, whether they will have, you know, fucking support backwards compatibility for the Wii. What else? Yeah, and there's also rumours of this like a hand tracking thing. So to the side of the tablet thing, there's supposed to be like infrared beams or whatever, and you can do like hand gestures and things, and they will like be registered apparently by these are the rumours. It's not been officially confirmed, but they will be registered by the infrared beam. So you, like, let's say for example you're playing rock, scissors, paper, stone, it apparently could pick something like that up and translate that back into the game somehow. So
it's pretty cool. Do you mean rock, paper, scissors?
What did I say?
Rock, paper, scissors, stone.
you haven't played the DLC yet?
Paper, scissors, lizard, Spock.
I can't believe you haven't played the DLC.
Me and Matt used to play rock, paper, scissors, vomit, spider, dead spider eyeball.
Which
was quite fun.
How does that work? How do you know which one's more powerful?
How
do you know which one beats what? How do you know that does vomit beat a rock?
I think we just kind of made. I think we
gonna
just
be
kind of
paper,
made it up. Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about like when I was like 8 or something.
You were talking about
Oh, there was a
8
dog
weeks
poo
ago,
one as well.
probably knowing you.
No.
8. Anyway, there's also a further announcement that should presumably clear up most, if not all, of these details on January 12th, because it's going to be out for release at sometime in March. So it's kind of odd that they're leaving it so late to tell everybody about all the details. It's like I've seen a lot of stuff about it where people are saying essentially they should just get any of the bad news, get it out of the way now, so you can start start building people back up to it. Because if you drop the bad news so close to release, there's not enough of a time space for people to forget, because people do forget. They have we all have fickle memories, for stuff that we're interested in. So it'd be better to, in their analogy, they were saying make it a shit sandwich. We've had the trailer; it's mostly been a positive reaction, or there has been some negative reactions, and then just fill it with the bad news, like perhaps high price or low battery life or whatever, and then start building us back up again with the announcements of new, cool features and things of that nature. So yeah, that's basically all the rumours and extra stuff. I'll just throw this out there as well, just for information. The Wii U launched at $300 in terms of price. So whether that'll be a barometer of how much, the Switch will be, who knows. But yeah,
they can't make it more.
I think it'd be kind of crazy, but if you look at it, there's a lot going on there, a lot of tech, a lot of R&D as well. Because it's like you take something like the Vita, which although powerful and fairly for its time and fairly, I wouldn't say revolutionary, but it was a good bit of kit. It was a good bit of hardware. Although not supported well in other ways by Sony, hence why it didn't do so well. But but it's kind of basic. It's the same in principle as the Game Boy. It's just a game thing. It's what we've had all the way through handhelds. Whereas this must have took a lot more R&D and a lot more expenditure. So, you'd assume they want to make money off it. Plus, they've already announced they're not selling it, or they're not gonna sell it at a loss. So, So price, I don't know, but to be fair, if it's over $400, I think they've sunk themselves, because that's just
no one's gonna pay that.
And a lot of the Nintendo audience, they probably skew a lot younger, so they're not going to have as much money. Even if they bother their parents, come next Christmas or whatever, it's still, even then it will still be like $350 if it's or £300 probably here. Whereas if they can hit the Wii U price, I think they'll be onto a winner there. But then I don't see how they could profit off it, because there's unless they separate them, unless the base station that plugs into the TV doesn't come with it, if unless that's separate, and they're selling.
Well, I think that'd feel like a bit of a cheat for people. Wouldn't it?
Because it's the whole hybrid thing is nonsense. It doesn't really have a point, So
it almost seems like their own consoles are going to be in competition with one another.
Yeah, I mean, essentially they're killing.
Mad.
Essentially they're going to kill off the Wii U, and they're going to have to, in a lot of sense, kill off the 3DS.
But how does that make you have confidence in a company?
Well, to be fair,
Wii U is barely any age at all.
The 3DS has been out a fair while, so I think that's fair enough to start phasing that out. That technology in that is like quite antiquated now. The resolution on it, I think, is like 360p or something. It's not a great, bit of hardware at this point in time. But yeah, the Wii U, I think that's only been out 4 years, maybe, is it? But I think that ship has sailed. I think there were a lot of Wii U fans annoyed about it, but I think at this point they've realised that the Wii U's going nowhere, and those that are Nintendo fans are like, well, fuck it, let's just jump ship and get onto the NX or the Switch, as it's now been announced as. So
it looks alright, but I have to say, for me, I'll never buy it unless it's dirt cheap. Nintendo never do enough with titles for me to want one.
The problem for me is that people are going on about all the specs and its power and all the things that it can do. And to be fair, for them to keep the power of its system in parity with the PS4 and Xbox One is smart. But for me, the main reason that this is smart comes down to one reason, and that's third-party support. The reason that the Wii U died is because it had no third-party support. Yeah, PS4 has pretty much thrived purely on third-party support. There's few, if any, first-party games that are really worth anything. Really, you've got your Bloodborns and your Uncharted's and maybe a couple of others, but there's nothing that's really blown anybody's socks off, unless you're a hardcore into whatever that first-party seems to be. So they've thrived purely on third-party. And I think, although the Wii U probably wouldn't have been a success, if it had had third-party support, I think they would have sold 2, maybe 3 times as many units. So. But
that's something Nintendo's pretty much always struggled with.
Yeah, since I don't know, maybe the SNES, they've just sucked at third-party support, really.
And the few games that are their own, they do well, and each incarnation of the games are good.
Yeah.
But. Are 3 titles going to make me want to buy that console? No.
Well, that's the thing. It's even from the N64 to a degree, although that had quite a bit of third-party support, and the GameCube had a fair bit of third-party support. But aside from at the start of their launch, the Wii and the Wii U had no really significant third-party support, and I think it's those things that. Although the original Wii sold crazy, but that game sold purely on Wii Sports.
That was the gimmick.
It's like the only game anybody played was Wii Sports, really.
That's all they know how to do, is the next big gimmick. And I think it gives them such a short shelf life on anything that they bring out.
I think they're trying to... This really is a hybrid in all terms. I think they're trying to mix gimmick with, general... not even hardcore, but core gamer experience or whatever. I think that's what they're really trying to aim at now. And like you were saying, the first party games, they're exemplary. They really, they know how to make good Marios. They know how to make good Smash.
Zelda. Yeah. Pokemon.
Yeah, they knock these out of the park time and time again, and they're great games, and they would sell on any system. But unless you're
that's all though for me.
Unless you're crazy into those. You could maybe say 10 games maximum, And for you, that's fine. If they're the only 10 games you care about, then that's worth a system, But I would say for the average core gamer who's not a Nintendo fan per se, it's just not enough. And they don't necessarily offer the experiences I like. Am I going to see a Fallout on the Switch? Am I going to see, are you going to see a Witcher 3? You're going to see a Final Fantasy?
Only rehashed versions of old ones.
And they usually are inferior versions, So, but yeah, I mean,
I don't have enough confidence in it.
I mean, I just wanted to pick your guys' thoughts. This isn't brand new news. I mean, a lot of this stuff's been out for quite a while, but for probably about a month now or whatever. But I wanted to gauge what you guys think of it and stuff, because
to be honest, I think from watching the advert, I'm actually I'm quite impressed with it. Wasn't expecting anything like that. The look of it, the way it's so easy to kind of click together and stuff. It just seems like a genuinely easy thing to use, convenient. But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of got a bit of a. I was like, yeah, good one, Nintendo.
Well, yeah.
Hopefully it is. They do. It's more than just the looks and stuff. But compared to even the Wii and especially the goddamn Wii U, the look of it is just completely.
Yeah, it
completely
is
stepped away.
Polar opposites. It's more taking a leaf out of an Apple's book or something than a toy.
Yeah. It looked more of like a tablet or a Mac. A phone sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Just the sleekness of it all and stuff.
But that kind of worries me in a way, because it's they're aiming at the luxury. It looks much more luxury. So usually with luxury, the price tag comes with that. So it's like,
Well, I think to be honest, I see it as more, not more like luxury, just basics, just back to basics. Do you know what I mean? Not making it gimmicky, like dropping the gimmicks and not focusing on making something all like fun and whatever. It seems like they're aiming more towards like the, you know, older teenager or teenager age and like grown-ups and stuff.
well, the interesting thing about that advert is there was no kids in it, there was no grannies in it bowling or anything. Do you know what I mean?
No,
They clearly
so I
are
think like they're going for a new
statement.
audience with the fun element still, as long as they stay away from the gimmicks and as long as they can you know, follow suit and keep up with the games and stuff, then I'm, you know, excited to be a strong word, but I'm going to be interested in seeing how well it goes, and I will be you know, trying to follow it up and that kind of stuff, because it does, you know, it's a frigging good advert for what they've done.
Yeah,
you
it
know.
looks.
The
It does
idea
look cool.
in itself is great, but they're going to have to live with playing the long game,
Yeah.
because there's no two ways about it. Not everybody's going to buy that at launch.
No,
Yeah.
I think what they'll do is they'll
they're
get
having some people.
And
the
they'll have the
hardcore
loyal ones.
Yeah, the hardcore Nintendo's fans will buy it up straight away. I think initially they'll get their 10 million like they did with the Wii U, but then from then onwards it's like they need to build on that. I think this system's going to do all right. It's like you said, I wouldn't say excited, because, you know, it's like,
I'm not going to go out and buy it.
yeah, I'm not going to go out and buy it either straight away. But and the problem is, it's like, you know, Nintendo, it's like, how many times has it bit you in the ass if you go out and buy a recent Nintendo console? So for me, I'll be super dubious about it. But like you, I quite like the idea of what they're doing. The principle, it is pretty much what all the rumors that we heard. But and I wasn't sure. It sounded kind of like a cool idea then, but then when they show it, the way they presented it in that advert was a good presentation, because
really good.
Although, like, you know, we'd heard everything about it essentially before it, you know, was revealed. Unlike the PS4 Pro, which was just completely deadpan and tumbleweed for me, this I was actually like, that's kind of cool, but there's no way I'm going to be getting it straight away. I mean, next Christmas we'll see, you know, depending on what its original price is and then what it drops to next Christmas, we'll have a look and we'll think about it. But even at that point, it's like, do you want to risk getting bitten by Nintendo? And the thing for me is, I'll say it time and time again, third-party support is the most important thing about this. I'd like it to have some sort of parity with the consoles that exist now, not the Pros or the Scorpios, but, you know, the regular PS4 and Xbox. I'd like it to have parity with them.
When
but
a
if
new
it
exciting game comes out, it should be available on that.
Yeah, it needs to have, you know, like we're saying, the Witches and the Fallouts and the, you know, whatever the Destinies, it needs to have those games. Even if they don't per se speak to me, they're going to speak to other people. And that's the shit that's going to pull in the core audience that aren't
Well,
Nintendo
I'm hoping
fans.
that's what they're going to do. I mean, like, when I first heard about it and when you were talking about it and stuff, I was like, oh god, here we go. Like, it's just going to be another fucking bullshit console that lasts about, you know, there's a bit of, like, excitement over it and then it's just going to flop like the other ones pretty much do. But as soon as I've seen the advert, I've actually gone, like, I'm quite impressed. But like how they've put the advert across and what they've kind of strived for in that sense, I swear to God, if they haven't upped their game with what you were just saying, then they've just literally just shot themselves in the foot and they need to be buried. Like, it's just plain and simple. Because they've gone for a different market. They've gone for a different audience. They've gone for a different look that's more mature and that's on the go and all that kind of stuff. So they have to up the games. They have to do something about that. Otherwise, what is the point?
I mean,
seriously.
It's smart
The
in a way.
other thing for me as well, I love my DS, and I do use it from time to time, but it fits in my pocket. It fits in my pocket, dude. That is big.
That is a good point. But
I don't want to carry that around with me.
But I think it does. I think it aims for like the whole travel thing, not just traveling around, going to the shops or wherever you've got to go, but like journeys and that kind of thing. I also think it will definitely appeal to kind kind of teenagers. I mean, around here, there's not really a lot to do, so teenagers just tend to hang out. I did it, you know, when I was a teenager and stuff. Kids still do. That's what they're going to be doing. It is,
maybe.
you know.
The cool thing about that is,
and the screen's big. The screen is big.
It's not huge, but then again, that's a positive and a negative.
Yeah.
Because it'll look cool. It's like kids are used to tablets and shit, but it's like Lou was saying, you can't really put it in your pocket unless you've got massive pockets.
Kids these days aren't. I mean, around here anyway. Like, they ain't really afraid to like take a bag out or something. Do you know what I mean? Like,
kids these days. Listen to them
sucking left.
When I was a lass.
What was it we had to tell you about the other day that you didn't know about? What was it? Hayden was speaking about it.
Five Nights at Freddy.
Yeah, she didn't know what Five Nights at Freddy's was, and we had to tell her. And I was like, "You're getting old. You don't even know what the kids are into these days."
Hey, I'm older than you, and I've known about it for some time. It's wicked as well. Scary.
I've seen a few bits. I found my first grey hair the other day. Yeah. How depressing is that?
Oh, don't worry, it gets worse from here on.
What stuck to my fucking head? Like implanted in my head.
Yeah, it can happen actually. You know, this is completely off topic, but you know, if you cut your hair or whatever, or shave your head, if hairs fall into your skin into a pore, it can actually grow out from there. So technically, you could probably grow a pube on your head.
Look,
although
I
remember
I'm not a doctor, telling you this.
I
did. No, shut up. I did a frigging course, a hairdressing course, many moons ago. Yeah, and I told you about this, and I remember you going, "Nah, that's bullshit. Nah." Now here you are. Like, oh yes, did you know, fellow listeners?
Yeah, but I probably saw it on something that I actually trust, like QI or something.
That's why you have to wear certain shoes and certain clothing when you do it, because it can fall into your follicles. And
shoes? Like safety work boots in case you cut Superman's hair?
No, but not fucking dolly shoes, you dumb nut. Numb nut. Whatever.
Anyway.
Point is, back to topic.
But I completely forgot where we
were talking about how they look good and games.
Oh yeah. I mean, it does interest me. I really like how you can do 2-player co-op with the 2 controllers or the waggle controllers.
If the game supports it.
You'd imagine a lot would if there's potential for co-op play or whatever. So because
I'm quite happy to convince someone else to buy it just so I can have a go at it. Oh, have you seen
the way to do it?
You should get it. Yeah, you'll love it. And then I'll just be like, okay.
It's not quite the same thing.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. And then they'll be past their warranty of being able to take it back or whatever. So they'll be like, oh, I don't really. If they say they don't like it, you can just buy it for cheap. Great.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think that's part of the thing is it's like they're stuck in between a rock and the hard place, because I want them to have parity with the current gen consoles, but with that's going to make the price really high. And the thing that would encourage me to buy this console is if it was cheap. So it's like
if it was cheap though, I tell you what, if it was cheap, if it was cheap, I'd be feeling right dubious. If it was really bargain, I'd be like, I don't want it.
Well, it's probably going to have. It's probably going to have a Tegra X1 chip or whatever, which is equivalent to the Nvidia Shield and stuff, and that's somewhere in between say a PS3 and a PS4 or a Xbox 360 and Xbox One. It's somewhere in that bracket in the middle.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be on parity, but with the same respects, because of all the fucking gubbins that's going on, all the different things and the R&D that's going into it, that would keep the price lower. But then again, so it's like positives and negatives, but because it's different, significantly different hardware, is it going to get the third-party support, which for me is the most important thing? So that's
what it all comes down to.
It's really in a weird spot, and we're not going to know till January 12th or whatever. So
that's quite a long way away as well, though.
It's
like a stupid time to launch, just a few days
just
after Christmas.
I think it's because they didn't like the Wii U launched with not very good launch titles, and they reckon that hurt it a fair bit. So this time they want other stuff. They've already got Zelda. I'm pretty sure that's probably nearly done by now, if not already done. But I think they want to launch probably with a new Mario and maybe a couple of other games there or there, within the first few months. So, maybe like a Metroid or something.
They're pushing this towards towards the whole like PlayStation and like Xbox console. If they, do you know what I mean? They are making it more of like a serious gaming sort of thing. If that's the way they're going to do it, then they need to follow. They need to do it as PlayStation and Xbox do it. They can't just make it look and act. I've
heard
the same
arguments.
Level. They have to keep going.
I've heard arguments to that, and I agree to a certain point. But then there's another argument: is we already have Xbox One and PS4. They already do what they do. What's the point in a third player doing the same thing? So why not have something different? So
but have like, well, I don't know. It depends. Like, what's the quality of gaming and stuff going to be like when you take it out and stuff? Because I know you're going on about the chips, like whatever it is. But is that still going to be for like? Like the same.
Well, my presumption is that it's going to have in the box that's plugged into the TV, the hub or whatever. I think it's not going to have a huge amount of processing power in it. I think what that will do is it'll switch it up to higher the resolution, so it'll probably go from 720p, which is what the screen is on the handheld. I reckon it'll just push it up to 1080, so it'll have a little bit of processing power, but I don't think it'll be like crazy. And the Shield is quite good. Which is what this is based off. It's like basically a custom modified version of the NVIDIA Shield tablet, and there's also like a gamepad-y thing. And I don't know about the tablet one, but the gamepad thing's it was quite powerful for its point in time. But like I say, it's in between basically an Xbox 360 and PS4. So is it going to get supported by third parties? So.
I don't know, but I do seriously think that this is their last go.
It is. I think because I think they'll go. I think they'll go again, even if this fails.
They probably will try, but by the fourth time,
I think
even the diehard fans are going to be like, "See you later."
The smart thing would be to do is, if this fails, is to just become a developer, because all they get, like we were saying, their games are great. So just focus on those games, spend that R&D money into making new games. Hey, here's a crazy idea, Nintendo. Why not make a new intellectual property? When's the last time Nintendo did that? But if they would make fucking bank on selling them on PS4s and Xboxes and PC. That if they sold their games, they would make a lot of money, because there's a much larger audience.
Like the diehard fans, they're not just going to be like simply only have Nintendos. Like, that's not what they're going to do. They're going to have a main console. So can you imagine, like, oh, come on. Like, I bet they do. But regardless, the majority of them, like, if they started like bringing games out for like PlayStation or whatever, fans would be going off their tits. Like,
well, put it this way: when's the last time I bought a Nintendo game? I can't remember.
Exactly.
But if it was on PS4, I guarantee I'd own at least a couple.
Yeah, definitely.
Or if it was on PC or whatever, I'd at least own a few. Because, like we were saying, they always know how to make good games. That's never been in question. It's just their hardware that's become questionable. They always do something to fuck themselves over every generation. N64, they were making cartridges that didn't hold enough for games, so big games couldn't exist on them. GameCube, they made stupid little discs because little discs are cute. The Wii, although it was a cool idea at first, it was just it was too gimmicky. It didn't pay off in the long run. The Wii U, nobody really understands what that even is.
Or what the point was,
And now, hopefully this, although I think they're trying to sit in that place between gimmick and, deluxe experience or whatever, or like a more core experience. I hope it pays off. I think, like we were saying, it looks cool, but I think it will do all right. I don't think it's going to blow people away, because the problem is that market's getting eaten into, the handheld market, which is probably why they're hedging their bets and making it half, traditional console, half handheld. But I think it's kind of a smart idea to hedge their bets or whatever. And I think I reckon they'll sell about 30 million in the lifetime of this, 25 to 30 million, I'd say, in the lifetime of this whatever it's called. I don't know if you can call it.
You've got to give them props for trying. Like, it's hot. Like, to be anything different than the PlayStation and bloody Xbox. You know, they're trying their best, bless them.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to kind of find something different to what we already have that's worthy of buying.
Yeah.
So, you know, they are trying and stuff.
It's smart in a way, because if you have a PS4, unless you've got a lot of, you know, a cash flow that you can throw around into stuff like that, if you've got a PS4 or Xbox One, you're just going to stick with that. Whereas if you've got a PS4 and you see something that's a bit different, you might think, well, it's different from what I've already got, so maybe why not, you know?
Yeah, but they have to make it good first.
Oh, no, for sure.
Like, that's, I think, the thing that, you know, they've failed at is the fact that they've gone, right, we can't really compete with Xbox and PlayStation the same way. We'll go for something completely different, except we'll just make it shit, and then no one will want it, and then we should keep having to do fucking reboots and try hard and hard and hard. But it doesn't work. That's the way they've gone wrong. They've just make it shit.
It's focusing on all this proprietary nonsense, and a word of warning to fucking Nintendo: don't do what the Vita did and make your own proprietary memory cards that are super expensive, because that was like a massive deal with the Vita. That, you know, advertise it well, which they've done so far. You know, it needs to have a decent price. It has to be under $400 for sure. You know, it needs third-party support, and it'd be good if it was, you know, there or thereabouts with current-gen consoles. You know, these are the main things that they need to hit for me. I mean, like, all the other cool stuff's interesting and cool. You want to separate yourself from that. That's quite interesting. But, like, another thing they were talking about, they were looking into VR. VR could be an interesting thing, because it would be the first... I mean, although it's a massive screen, so I don't know if that would even work properly. But that would be the first untethered VR from a main developer, because all the others
sounds dubious.
And they've got the controls, and if the controls have got like gyroscopes in them or something, so they can be picked up or something, then they wouldn't even need the tracking per se, you know, or something like that. That would be cool. So I mean,
but you know, from what we've said before, it's questionable whether even the PS4 and such can handle.
Oh well,
VR. Why should a lesser beast be able to?
VR is out in the wild, and it seems the PS4's handling it all right. I mean, it's probably not.
Yeah, for
probably
now.
Better on PS4 Pro, but the PS4's handling it. But yeah, if this system is going to be a bit weaker, you're right. It is going to struggle. But another up thing of it is the screen resolution. They can't change that. It's going to be regular 720p screen. But, you know, for like a budget experience, it's going to be a step up from something like Gear VR or like Google Cardboard or whatever. You know, so it could be an interesting avenue for them to take up. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't bet on that. That's not the thing to be focusing on. For me, it's, you know, focus on the core audience. You know, focus on the third parties. And sure, if you want to, if you've got a billion gimmicks, I don't give a fuck. As long as you're giving me a good core experience, you can have as many gimmicks as you want. I can choose whether to buy into that shit or not. You know, as long as the baseline good shit's there. So, but yeah. Anyway, like I said, I just wanted to talk to you guys about it. You know, pick your brains, see what your thoughts about it, because we hadn't really discussed it and stuff, and just talk about what we know so far and, you know, how we think it may go. So. Carrying on from the discussion we had a little while back, as I said, you know, we'd pick back up on this one. What would you do if you actually found a Death Note? Would you use it? Would you try it? Would you destroy it, hide it, give it to the government? What would you do if you found a Death Note? So just imagine you're like, is it Light or whatever? You know, you're sitting there and then suddenly this book just falls out of the sky. You go, you pick it up, you don't think much of it at the time, but then you discover or whatever that it is a Death Note, and you know it can fucking kill people. What would you do?
It all depends on how much you know, because if you know any of the rules of the Death Note,
well, you're not gonna know a lot. You'd have to presume at first you don't really think much of it. You think it's a bit silly, but then presumably a Shinigami or something would have to come along, or another person who knows about the Shinigami, and would have to tell you, some of the rules and stuff of it. So
basically, there are rules for the Shinigami as well as the human, and
they don't always obey those rules, though, do
they? There's punishments for them if they don't. If you pick up a death note, even if it wasn't intended for you, it is the God of Death's duty to try to encourage you to use it.
All right.
And they are not obliged to tell you everything.
No.
Unless you ask outright.
Even if you do, they don't tell you.
They could totally mislead you.
Because I'm pretty sure there's been points where, I've seen. I can't remember what's the main Shinigami called.
Ryuk.
Yeah, I've seen times.
Keep in mind, I'm not very up to scratch with Death Note, so.
I'm pretty time I've seen.
Give her a little overview.
I know what a death note is. I know if you write the name and in the cause of the death and stuff, then they die and stuff. But like, apart from that, I'm pretty in the dark.
Well, I've not watched all of them. Shinigami, they're like, what are they like?
They live in another plane, and they are.
It's like purgatory.
Gods of death. That's
they live
what Shinigami translates to.
Yeah, they live in like purgatory.
And I think the main point of it all that you get is that it's very dull there, and they do it for entertainment, a lot of them.
Okay.
To cause absolute trouble and chaos. Ryuk even says that he does it because he was bored.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't they like gamble with their years or their soul or souls or something, don't they?
They use the death notes. Anyone they write down in the death note, they extend their own life by doing so.
Yeah.
So, but there are rules, and it's never touched upon truly. But there is there's a governing power there that you never find out too much about it, because if they don't do things by the rules, there are punishments for them.
Yeah, but they often disobey them. I think it's whether they get caught, isn't it, or whatever.
Perhaps.
Isn't that a bit shit though? Like, they're trying to do all this Death Note shit to like get extra years of their life, but yet their life's shit and mundane. Like.
It's a fair point.
I think I don't know whether because I've not watched like all of them. I've not got that like a huge way through it or whatever. I'm still working on it. Probably I don't even know if I'm halfway through or whatever, like all the episodes. But yeah, from what I gathered from it is that when you use a death note or something, my theory is anyway, is that basically once you use one, you become a Shinigami and you don't know it. So like when you die, because when you kill someone with a death note, you don't go to hell or heaven, and well, where's the other place to that? It's obviously like a purgatory, and they're in like a purgatory.
It actually says that you go to nothingness.
But isn't that where they are? There's nothing really there.
It's a fair point.
So my thought is that when you use it, you'll become a Shinigami, and then you're essentially, you'll get your own death note, and then you're, gambling with whatever to carry on existing or whatever.
God, they can have more than one as well. I think it's like when you're at school, and you have to prove that your old pen's actually run out, and then you can have another one.
Yeah, because he's already lost one, hasn't he, Ryuk?
Even if they let one go on Earth, they have to have one at all times. So it is possible for them to have multiples.
Yeah.
So
obviously, if you knew, but you wouldn't know about this. Like Ryuk doesn't tell Light until he's already killed someone, or after he's already killed people. So it's like
it's their duty to
encourage you or whatever.
How would you come about? Would you say you found this fucking death note then? Yeah. Would you come across the knowledge of the powers of it or shit? How would you know? How would you find something if you don't know anything about it? How would you find it?
It tells you the basic.
Oh, this is worth giving.
It tells you some rules.
It tells you the basic rules in like the contents.
The one that Light finds does have some of the rules. They're not all in the front cover.
It's just like the basic. There's like fine print and sub rules that aren't there.
That's fucking terrible though, because you'd be like, nah, that's bullshit, and then you'd be like, yeah, but is it?
But you'd be
Shall
like,
I give it a go?
I've got to
Yeah.
try it.
Yeah, and then you're destined to like boring shit.
I think if you accidentally did it, I don't know that you would, but I think you should get like a mulligan if you did it
You
by
know
accident.
how as you watch through the episodes, Nathan, and more rules come up.
Yeah.
There's some really good ones, really good obscure ones, like later on in it. For example, Vanessa, how you were saying that it's a truly shit existence. There's one rule that says Shinigami cannot have sex with humans or even each other. There's no sex, Shinigami.
So what about with yourself?
For all eternity.
What about a little self-love?
It doesn't mention that. That might be allowed.
Nathan's got that one in hand, he'd be fine.
Well, they can all sit around
it's
and
a
have
long
like a
eternity.
wank circle or something. So...
And also...
that's arousing to you? Hey guys,
Hey,
let's
well,
have a
if that's all
wank
you've got,
circle.
you got to make the
Why?
most of
You
it.
do
Yeah.
it on your fucking own. Why do you want to sit and watch other people wank? You freak.
I think your modest is going to go if you've lived X amount of years and there's not a whole lot going on. You'll do whatever you can.
You're kind of worrying
to be
me now.
entertained.
Yeah, but like, I don't care how bored I am. Like, I'm not gonna find like 5 fucking Shinigamis or whatever they're called having a wank erotic. Maybe
if you've
you
been
do.
sitting around in purgatory for 1,000 years, I'm sure you'd change your mind.
It's not. There's not much there, is there, even to look at?
Wait, do they come in like
No.
female and male like forms?
I don't really know. I think they're like asexual, aren't they?
Rem's
What?
female. Have you got that far to Misa?
No, I don't think so.
What? So they're like the angels, like a dogma. They've just got nothing.
No, they can be male or female.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're
Although
kind of
they can-
androgynous
they can
in a
look
way.
like a pizza
'Cause
or
they're-
something,
because
but they can have
What?
a set. They can have a gender.
They look like a pizza.
Some of them look ridiculous. Some
Yeah,
of
really
them look
fucked up.
humanoid. Some of them look like molten lava. I don't know.
Yeah, some of them
Okay.
just like look like bones and stuff, don't they? It's like,
Fair enough.
So-
But okay. All
he'd
right.
have a right boner on him, that one. See what I did there.
So
But
then-
anyway, you don't know all these rules straight off the bat, so you're just going to mess about with it and not think much of it. But let's presume you don't know about all these bad things that are probably going to happen to you if you use it. Or would you use it? I'll give you a little scenario. Let's say you've been through all your preamble, you figured it out. It is a legit thing, yeah. Let's say there was a terrorist attack happening. ISIS, for example, was holding some people hostage. You see it on the TV, and you didn't know any about all that malarkey. Would you use it to kill, the terrorists or whatever?
What, like, how, like...
It's on the news and they're saying their name.
This is
All right,
essentially
so-
what happens to Light, yeah? He's like a college kid. Is he a law student? Maybe. And
No, he's still in
basically-
school.
Okay, and basically he starts out with like a noble idea to get
Good
rid of
intention,
terrible
yeah.
people. And
And then he goes fucking mad, like
it
real
basically
quick.
it
Spoilers.
corrupts him quite quickly.
Yeah.
And it just shows how noble ideas go to bollocks.
Well, I think he was already a bit of a nut job, and like he's clearly a sociopath because he went from like noble to nut job at like from 0 to 100. You know what I mean? Like
That's real fucking difficult, like, because now you...
so.
It's well difficult. Like, so, like, do you live, like, your whole life and then you die, you go into thingy?
Yeah, but you're not going to know about any.
That's
of this, so you can't-
unproven. All that it says
No.
is that they cannot
I don't
go to
know,
heaven
I've
or
not-
hell.
Like I
Okay.
said, I can't watch them. I haven't watched them, so I don't know anyway. And if it
It's
never
never-
gets
Alright, no,
spoken
but
of,
okay, no, yeah, it's a good point. We've got to keep
They
a
s-
fresh mind, haven't we? Because it's like, we don't know this.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it just says you can't
just
go
my
to heaven
theory.
or hell. You go into nothingness. But their plane of existence is kind of like that. So it's
Yeah,
hard to say. Hard to say.
sort of like hints towards it, but doesn't say one way or the other.
I
But
think,
you wouldn't know any of that anyway.
God, that is
So without
really
knowing
difficult. Like, that is so tempting. But it's tempting as it is. I've always got, like, a bit of a thought of, there's a balance to life and stuff. And, like, taken a life that maybe is not ready to go yet. Regardless of whether they're good or bad, they might have, have to do something that has a knock-on effect for a good person or something. Do you know what I mean?
The problem is it's like being judge, jury, and executioner. It's kind of like a Judge Dredd thing. It's like you're instantly judging everybody, like straight away, and it's like, are you equipped enough to do that? I mean, fair enough. In the case of maybe like a terrorist, it's like maybe maybe in that sort of pinch situation,
a jury gets as much information as is available, and they can look at it from every angle.
And a case can take months.
You see possibly what the media shows you.
Yeah. You don't have all the facts.
What little you know.
What if someone's like wrongly accused of something, and you kill them? Like Light starts killing people off that, aren't, like, he kills at one point, spoilers, not really big spoilers, but he kills like an FBI agent. It's like, well, he's clearly not a bad dude, is he? So, but
that's right. What would you do? Like, that's fucking tough, man.
I don't know. It's super difficult. I don't know whether I'd jump to that shit.
The thing is, if it was people you didn't know, you probably wouldn't do anything. If it was personal, yes, you would.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not even joking. Yeah, that is like, I've just been sat there thinking, like, how fucking because no one would catch her. Like, if you just wanted to pop that fucking one
What
person
if someone
off,
in your family is in a bank, and then they're, like you say, a hostage situation, but actually one of your friends or family is in there?
Yeah.
That would change your mind, and that's
it would
the trouble.
be super tempting. But I think the bigger question is you have to decide whether you're going to use it, period. Whether it, like, and then at that point is like, well, if you're not going to use it, what do you do with it? And if you're going to use it, you've already decided to use it, and then you have to decide how far you're going to go.
Can you destroy them?
You can, once you touch it,
think you can.
Whenever you touch one, you can see the Shinigami that's linked to it. So only one is linked to each Death Note. If you don't write a name in it, you're the owner, but you've not used it.
Yeah.
So technically,
if you've not killed anyone,
you should be okay if you've not killed.
But that means
can you
got
use
to
it to like?
on
Can you use it to like harm someone and not kill them?
No.
I don't know if this is a touchdown. No.
You can give someone a long disease. You could give someone cancer that takes them 15 years to die, as long as you specify it.
Yeah, but they have to die at the end of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But like
Right,
that means that throughout your life you have got this fucking Death Note. If you want to do the righteous thing by not killing anyone, keeping it to yourself so that no, it can't fall into the wrong hands and stuff. You have got this fucking book in front of you. Say, I'm like 25, till I die at like 75, 80. All this time and all these bastards that are going to come along in your life. Oh my god, the temptation will drive you crazy inside alone.
Yeah, but you can't just kill off someone because your neighbour annoys you or someone parks in your space or whatever.
Oh, come
That's
on.
where you go down that crazy road. You become like light.
But like there'd always be like if someone had like, I don't know, argued with you or like fucking burgled you, like mugged you, and you found out who they were. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the first place you're gonna go. And I'm not gonna lie, even if someone pissed me off and did nick my parking space, that that little inkling would still be there. Like could just fucking knock them off. Yeah, it would be there. Don't tell me it
because it's an
wouldn't.
option. It's an option, and it's completely free of any justice.
Here's the
It's not
problem:
right,
you're
right,
nowhere
but
near.
In this
You're
life,
nowhere
at
near
least.
as smart as
exactly.
Light. You'd get like caught out pretty fast.
How many times has someone pissed
I
you off
don't
and just
think
gone,
you would.
oh, could
There's
just
not a
fucking like bury
chance.
him?
How could you get caught? How could you
Yeah.
get caught?
L.
What would
Someone
they
like
do?
L
would believe
existed.
it. No one would
What would
believe it.
L
exactly?
would.
What are the police going to do? Charge me for fucking writing a name and a
And-
death in a book and it happening? There's no proof
And
that
to be
that's like.
fair, Light is like a typical serial killer. He starts off
Oh yeah.
with it being vague, and then he basically makes it obvious that something supernatural is happening. He shows off. He wants to be found out for people to say how clever he is, like a lot of serial killers
They're two
do.
sides. Two
Yeah.
sides of the same coin. They're not that
But
infinitely
he
different.
stops acting smart. He makes like loads of random criminals just have heart attacks. That's when you start getting suspicious.
Oh yeah. Maybe you could get away with the odd death here or now, but it sounds like Vanessa started to go off the deep end.
Yeah,
Like killing everyone.
hey,
You looked
I-
at me funny.
Yeah.
Look,
Oi, you're wearing the same top as me. Die.
no, I never said that I'd act upon it. But like, how many times have you gone like, I don't know, someone's pissed you off or like whatever, and you've gone.
Yeah, they'd have to seriously wrong me for me
could
to
just
want to
fucking-
just kill them.
I know, but you've how many times have you thought, oh, I could just fucking, I don't know, twat him with a saucepan. Oh, I could just like fucking kill him and bury him here, there, or there. Do you know what I mean? It's just that kind of. It's just our personality and our personality. It's our you know, our mind thought. It's the comical side to it, and you go, oh, actually, yeah, I could do that. I could physically. That is a possibility. That is an option. But then you'd have to
Yeah, but
know
I could do that right now. I could just kill someone that annoyed me, but it'd be more difficult to get away with it. I think that's the
I
only
know.
difference.
That's even more towards the temptation. Like I think loads about people who are just like, how would you get away with it? Like, you know, these conversations. Come on,
It'd be
these
difficult, but they're not the sort. That's not the sort of thing you should say on a public forum.
I think I better stop while I'm ahead, in case I come across a
But-
death note. You'll all know it's me.
Well,
There's some
we'd
really
figure it.
like interesting obscure rules as well. There's one that says you can't kill anybody over the age of 124 years,
That's
and
kind of odd,
okay.
isn't it?
you can't kill anybody that is under 780 days old. Which sounds really stupid to me, which means that's about 2 years old, right? So you can't kill a 2-year-old, but a 3-year-old is fair game.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Maybe it has.
What?
Maybe it has to do with their soul or whatever. Maybe when they're too young, the soul's not mature enough, and when they're old, it's not worth much. So maybe it's more like an economy thing as opposed to a
That's
moral
clever.
thing.
It's a clever comment.
But it's quite disturbing that you could kill a little toddler.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's horrible.
That is quite messed up.
Actually, it's quite disturbing that you could just randomly kill anyone. But
Yeah.
what a weird rule to put in.
Does it work
Here's-
on animals?
Animals
I
don't
don't
have
think so.
names.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Even if you name an animal, that's not its name, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, Bingo the dog. No, Vanessa, it won't work. You,
Why?
in
I think-
fact,
What, just
you're
'cause it's on-
sounding worse and worse. In fact, I think you should just stay silent for the rest of the time.
No,
Can
I'm
you kill animals?
all the traits of a psycho,
Oh
isn't
my
it?
lord.
Killing
Yes,
off little
okay.
animals first off.
You got to start.
No,
gotta
I
start
just
somewhere.
meant you open the door, like, you know. No, not. God, I'm choosing the wrong word. You said about like kids and stuff, and I just, you know, I never would have thought about, you know, kids. So I was just curious. It was just a curious thought. You know, no malice.
What would you do though? I think there's two choices you've got. You've got the choice of use it, and if so, would you just use it like to kill off bad people, or would you, like Vanessa, kill someone because they annoyed you?
And small puppies.
Hey,
And you know,
I'm a dog
animals and
lover.
whatnot.
If
I like cats.
But if you didn't,
it can be
What would you-
destroyed,
what would you do? Would you burn it? Would you sell
there's a
it?
benefit.
Yeah.
Would you
Did
tell
know?
Would you tell a
There's-
friend about it
Yeah, definitely.
and try and share the responsibility, or would you give it to like a government body?
There's a benefit to owning one. I would not give it to a government.
No,
That's the
bullshit.
most
No, I
terrible
don't
thing
know.
ever.
They're fucking.
Uh,
I think they'd probably kill you anyway because like you know too much.
they probably already know about it.
Yeah, you'd be the first name in it.
Yeah, probably.
If you, oh, I forgot what I was going to say.
I don't know if I'd be comfortable telling anyone about it though.
Oh yeah,
I got
there's
real
a
bad feedback.
yeah,
then.
there's
I
a
don't know what that was.
benefit to owning one. If you own a death note, another Shinigami can't kill you.
Why would a Shimigami want to kill me? What do
Yeah.
you
Because
mean?
they come down to
In a
Earth
death
and kill
note?
people anyway. Yeah, you can't.
Do they?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's how they extend their life.
Oh yeah. Of
Oh
course.
yeah, but a human has to write their name. They can't just suddenly decide to kill someone, can they?
Yes.
Or what? So Ryuk can just go, I don't like the look of you, and just kill me.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought the only way they could kill someone was if it was written in a death note.
Oh no, yeah, they can kill you with their death note. They all own one, even if they drop one. They
Yeah,
have to
but
have
so
one.
they could the Shinigami write a name in their own death note and kill someone?
Yes.
Right. Okay. It's
But
unlikely
actually,
that they probably want to
if
do
you
that.
own
though,
one,
wouldn't
you're
they?
immune, and only your own Shinigami can kill you.
Yeah, but a human could, even if I owned a death note, a human could write my name in another death note and kill me, yeah?
No, because it wouldn't be their death note.
I don't know, actually.
If a human wrote in someone else's death note, then it wouldn't be their death note. Wait.
There's loads of freaky things about it. You can even pull out a page of it and give it to someone else.
Yeah.
What, for them to use?
You could rip off a little tiny scrap of it, and if you wrote a name on it, it would work.
You could sell like each one for like £1 million or something.
You could just sell pages.
Million, bazillion.
No, but enough to write one name.
Mm.
It's probably worth £1 million, isn't it?
Mm.
It's like the perfect kind of hitman.
Yeah, exactly. So you probably could make a few billion, but you probably get caught doing that. And it's obviously incredibly morally bankrupt, but you know.
Yeah.
So
if you wrote it in like you, if you like wrote it and stuff, and like you sold out these scraps and stuff, and even if you did get caught, you could like do a thing for yourself where you basically say, yeah, I'll like pay me this money and I'll do, but I'm only going to kill him a certain way. And that certain way could be something that would be fucking impossible to like get you caught, like spontaneously combusting, or I don't know, fucking
ran over by someone else in a car.
Yeah, exactly.
By someone else in a car. Yeah.
That's unfair though, like unless that person's a bad
randomly
person.
had a heart attack or fucking brain aneurysm or something like that. You know, I personally prefer spontaneously combusting.
Well, you could charge more and be like, I'll kill them any way you want, mate. If you really, you know, you don't give a shit. You could be like, do you want this person to like, bleed to death or whatever? You could just pick.
I don't think I'd want one. I think they're far too dangerous, and I
think it's the responsibility that would get you. Be like, oh, this is too much responsibility.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because like I said, like even you've still got to live the rest of your life with this fucking massive thing in your possession.
Like people.
Yeah, like what if it gets into the wrong hands? What if whoever fucking made it comes back for it? You know, there's all these what ifs and questions. You don't know where it's come from. If you don't want to use it, then you're never going to find out anything more about it. So you're just going to have these continuous questions. I'd want to get rid. I'd burn it or some shit.
Ideally, I'd want to give it to like a government body, but the government are so corrupt they'd probably do really bad things with it. If you could trust your government to actually be on the level and like have it just sit in there, or like you know,
insane.
Like
it
a
would
UN
be either
or something.
Two ways for the government, like in my mind anyway, my intricate little mind is either like, you know, they'd either be completely and utterly fucking unaware to this kind of shit, and then they'd just make some twatish mistake. They'd fucking try and use it for good, or like, I don't know, some shit like that. Or they already know about it. And then they
problem is
they'd
probably start killing off other world leaders and stuff. Whether that's good or bad, I don't, you know, it depends, you know. Like some despot in Africa or something, they just start killing them off. But you know, there's you know, causality to that. Does someone else rise up in their place that's, you know, just as bad or worse? Or, you know, they'd probably kill Putin or something. Could that spark a new war or something, you know? So it's like, there's risks to it. I think what I'd do is I'd go and find like a philosophy professor or something and just speak about it hypothetically. And just with the side note that, you know, keep quiet about this because I have a death note and I could use it. So
to be fair,
and just, you know, walk through all the moral and ethical minefield, and then have a more of a decisive thought about it. But I think what I'd probably do is burn all of it except for a page, and then bury that page for like a rainy day. If something really bad happened, like, you know, a world war was pending or something. Because I think the responsibility, I'd like to absolve myself of that responsibility, but I don't trust anybody enough to do that because I don't know what they do.
I think
with
the answer is this though: it's not of this world, and it doesn't belong here.
Yeah.
Nobody should have that kind of power, and there's a reason why they're called gods of death. You know, it's not for humans to play God.
Yeah.
But I think I'd probably keep exactly a page, so I couldn't overuse it even if I wanted to. But if something like a third world war was impending and like nukes were going to be at risk of getting dropped, at least then I could, you know, decide
but then
to...
you've got you've got to think about it in the other way as well. Like if, for instance, say the whole fucking World Wars didn't happen, Hitler didn't happen, someone went back in time and assassinated Hitler, how would the world be now?
It would be.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
it depends
as
at what
horrible
point
as them
they
situations
assassinate
are,
Hitler.
and huh?
Yeah, but you don't. It's retrospect. Retrospect's 2020. It's like at that point in time, you have to make decisions there and there.
It wouldn't matter how the world would be if you didn't do it, because you wouldn't know. It would just be.
But that's my
whatever
point.
You did.
I already have that kind of thought of certain things, no matter how horrible they are, they're meant to happen for some form of reason. You know, whether it's to fucking, I don't know, but you know, that's how my mind works. So I'd always have that thinking, you know, if I end this fucking war that's about to happen, it could be on the verge, you know, as horrible as it'd be, for the world to fucking, I don't know, global warming to be over, and you know, peace and all that kind of shit. Do you know what I mean?
Well, sometimes we learn something, don't we, as a species.
I think in the moment you just
when
have to
something
make.
terrible happens,
You just have to make the
it
best.
makes it
Exactly.
better.
You have to make the best decision you can at the time, and you know, if there's no good decisions, you have to make the least, you know, the least worst decision.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, if you thought like the world was in jeopardy, as opposed to just like, because like I wouldn't want to be playing God, so even if there was people's lives at risk, it's like is perhaps going down a slippery slope. But if it's like humanity at risk, or the world exists at risk, or like
what if there's them like few
tens of thousands of people?
Yeah, but what if them few last people recreate an Earth that's fucking mega, and there's no wars, and there's no pollution, and there's no blah blah blah.
Yeah, but is it worth? You can't know that, and it's like, is it worth 7 billion people dying? It's like that. I don't want 7 billion souls on my consciousness. You know, it's like you have to try and fight through it and hope that, you know, we can make
The lesser
good.
evil.
We can make good the long way, or the difficult
think
way, or whatever.
the only conclusion I've came to is that I should never have a death note and never should be put in that decision.
Probably none of
that
us.
position. I think that, like, you know, yeah, humanity shouldn't have one, but I definitely shouldn't have one.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Or keep everybody's pets safe. That's, you know. If pets start randomly dying, and people
You're just worried about your monkey, aren't you, Nathan?
and people have the
You know, the one you like to spank.
That really bad monkey that you have.
Naughty monkey.
I have
Must be
multiple
punished, monkey.
multiple monkeys. I'm a lucky boy, so you know.
That couldn't sound any more creepy.
But you know, like if everybody's pets start dying, and people that wear the same jumpers as you, and like people that annoy you, or like, you know, park in
Put in
places
front
you
of
don't
you in a
like,
queue.
then we'll know that
Oh,
you've got a
road
death
rage.
note. I think
True.
I think what I would probably do is go and convert to Islam or something straight away, because you get to change your name. And then I'd change my name and not tell anybody.
Do you know what, though? Do you know what?
Because then I'd hope that technically that changes, that permanently changes my name, because it's like bound to my soul or whatever.
Do you know what? I'm quite happy in saying that I'd probably pop you off first.
Yeah. Well, you'd have to figure out my name anyway. It'd be like,
Well, that's fine. I'd go to the place wherever you fucking the head if you... I don't know what they're called.
what?
You know, like the person who changed your name and stuff, and then I'd say, look, I've got this
The
magical
imam.
invention. Pop one person off and say, look, it fucking works. Tell me his name. and
How
I'll
would you
pop
know
off.
which imam I went to? I could go to
I'd hunt the fuckers down.
And
what,
Nathan,
everyone in the world. You're being ridiculous.
Everyone.
you're forgetting
Orange.
something.
What?
You're forgetting something. If
What?
you have a death note, you can trade half of your natural life
Yeah.
for the eyes of the god of death, which means that everybody you look at, you can see their name, even if you look at a picture of them.
Yeah, but
The name
yeah,
and
but
their
with
natural age.
yeah, but with
You're
Vanessa's like health and well-being, that'll be like she'll only have like 5 years left or something.
She only needs 5
Hey,
minutes to
What
off
the
you.
fuck are you Yeah, exactly. And I'd die a happy girl knowing that you weren't infesting the world anymore.
Basically, you can you can trade half your life so that you can have the vision of a god of death, and you can see.
And do you know
anybody's-
what? Do you know what? I would
Yeah.
give you like
It's
a
real
death
name.
of like ongoing syphilis that never ends, or like leprosy.
Isn't that
or
already
No, well,
something
that would
like
be the stupidest thing you could
well,
do,
yeah.
because I would just find you and kill you. So...
How would you?
Because if I suddenly get, like, some miraculous syphilis that is forever ongoing and loads of puppy dogs started dying, I'd know it was you and kill you.
Yeah, but then I'd just, like, quickly scribble your name. And I'd get one of them fucking, you know, like the cartoons. What are they called?
What, an eraser?
That fall from the sky.
A piano? What are you on about?
No. Them weird weight things. Weight things?
A ton?
a ton?
No,
A ton
they're different
weight?
shape. No.
Yeah, an anvil.
Anvil, yeah. Yeah, I'd get one of them.
Whatever. I'd see the warning signs because you told us what you do, and then I'd come and finish you and steal your death note and take over the world. What are the things you wish you could do in real life that you can only do in video games? So, for example, you know, you can do all sorts of things in video games. Like, I've got a few things, but one of probably the most important, you know, that springs to my mind is like save points. Like,
that sounds nice.
A save point in real life, how good would that be? Like, do you know what I mean?
No.
Like, I could just save before, I don't know, whatever. Like, you could save before a test and redo the test.
Oh, yeah! That would be amazing.
Or you could save before a really good party and go back and play back that party.
Or like, just
lottery numbers.
Well, that's cheating. I don't think you should necessarily be
That's
able
cheating.
to do that.
Cheats are viable in video games.
That's true. Well, there you go. That's something you could choose to
But
have.
however, especially back in the day, cheating may be viable, but it's often can fuck up your game further on.
Yeah, here's the
in
problem
life.
with that. You'd have to assume that just because you have that thing, you'd have to assume everybody has it. So save points would be available for everybody, but cheat codes is not something you'd want for everybody, because it'd be like fucking GTA where like you wake up and somebody's just dropped a tank outside and he's just fucking mowing the place down. It'd get quite inconvenient.
It wouldn't matter if you'd saved.
That's true. That's true.
But wouldn't that just like create loads of like weird like time rips and shit? Like everyone's saving and everyone's going back in time and stuff. We just
I think we should
implode.
cancel out the entirely crazy godlike elements of it.
Okay.
And say no.
You'd have to. I have to assume that it's like it splits off and creates like a dimension purely like to you or whatever, like, or from that point in time it's like all save points that all saves and resaves that existed before that still existed, but obviously it wouldn't change, you know, the thing that you've already done or whatever. Like it'd be almost like less like a change in time and more like you replaying
personal universe.
Yeah, replaying favorite moments and stuff, wouldn't it? As opposed to, you know, just time being all fucked up and weird. Or as Doctor Who would say, what is it, wibbly wobbly?
Wibbly wobbly timey-wimey.
That's right. So, you know, you'd have to assume it'd be more, you know, more almost like, you know, like replaying, like I was saying, your favourite moments or whatever. But
I think we should simplify.
It'd be so fucking handy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what would be good. Health up, status heal.
Yeah, healing items is one of the things I got. Like, oh, I got run over. Beep, beep, beep. Pop a high potion. I'm good to go.
Extra life.
Oh, I've caught the flu. A sooner. You know. That'd be fucking great. Even if they were a bit expensive, it'd be so worth it. I'd go buy an Asuna for like 200 quid or something.
That's it. You could use one now, couldn't you?
Yeah, I could. I got fucking killer toothache. It's driving me nuts. But yeah, shit like that. I'd definitely pay 200 quid just to get rid of it, like permanently or whatever. Or real harsh elements like cancer or something. It'd be like the equivalent to like Doom or something. I don't know if Asuna cures Doom, but I'm sure there's you know, there's some curative item that you could get that would just be like, you know, fix you.
Happy days.
Or just Phoenix down me. Or it doesn't matter. Just wait till I die and just Phoenix down me. I'll be alright. I'll heal. And I won't
That's only for KO.
But even if but if you had like cancer, I'd just be like, shoot me in the face and then just chuck a phoenix down at me, because then
To be fair,
because then when you get brought
that
back,
would work.
yeah, because you don't still have status items after you die, do you?
I tell you what would be cool. Like when you're out and obviously playing games and shit, like just finding little power ups every now and then, and like little like items and stuff.
Collectibles.
Yeah.
I tell you what you
collectibles, that'd be
want,
cool.
Nathan.
What?
Treasure.
Treasure, definitely. Treasure out all over the
Treasure.
shop. I'd be out.
Treasure.
Which way do you walk when you're going home? Do you walk down the main street or do you walk down the little dead end?
There'd be problems with this.
You
though.
know what's at the...
There would be
don't get
major
it.
problems. The major problem would be every time I'd enter the room, I'd hug all the edges of the room, like
Oh, yeah.
like someone with OCD or something,
And keep inspecting every little item.
and like
opening
if I
every
go
drawer.
around someone's house that I don't know, I'm just going through their drawers and looking at their orthopedic pants and whatnot.
Can someone like enlighten me to what the fuck you two are on about?
So I can find
That's
a
how you
fancy
play
thing,
games.
or like any
How is
game.
it?
If you want to find like secret treasure, you look in like a pot plant or something, or like
Mm.
you want to find a special item, you start rooting through someone's wardrobe. It's fucking
Oh.
it's gold dust.
Oh,
I see.
I did not know this.
It'd be cool. Yeah, but, collectible items and stuff. It'd be well better than the trash you just find on the street, like like comic book, even like just something basic like comic books, like from The Last of Us or something, or like porno mags from Matthew or something.
Oh, I get what you're on about. I get it. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Instead of just like giant fucking glowing pieces of light or something that's in like Infamous or something. It doesn't really equate to very much, does it? Aside from it looks kind of pretty. Trophies would be good. Someone just knocks on my door in the morning and it's just like, ping, here you go, Nathan, here's a silver trophy for going toilet 100 times. Here's a silver.
I like it. I'd be how that. Do you know what? I think that's a great idea because like that would curb like depression.
Instead of like degrees, you get like I've got a platinum trophy in law or whatever, wouldn't you? Like.
Yeah, but like
That'd be
people just come around like, ding, here's a trophy for like waking up and getting out of bed. Here's a trophy for brushing your hair 3,000 times or whatever.
Exactly,
You're like, yeah, I am succeeding at life today.
You'd make everyone feel like they'd accomplished something every day.
Yeah. Exactly. You'd have like, more people going to work and stuff. Can you imagine how many more trophies you're going to get while you're at work?
You'd encourage people. It'd be like
You don't need to go to work, Vanessa. All you have to do is go somewhere and break loads of barrels.
Right.
And find rubies.
Find rupees, grind for cash.
And dodge
And
money
then when-
bags on the
when
way
you
home
walk-
because he'll try and mug you.
When you walk out of the room and you go back in, it'll be back again. It'll respawn, break it again. That's
Exactly.
your job.
Sorted.
I mean, like, it's,
I
it's the
agree with
treasure
Nathan
thing.
and money bags.
I'd essentially be like a treasure hunter. That would be my job. I'd just go out and find collectible items and like sell them at the local shop or something.
Nah, you'd be like that guy at Resident Evil. What you buying? Like flashing people in like dark corners and stuff.
stranger? Oh, not that one. That one's just my penis. Let me just tuck that back in.
Took it back in? Took it back in where?
No, see? Oh.
Back in its pocket, stranger. I'll touch it. I'll touch it at a high price.
You know.
Is that enough? Have we done enough?
That was enough a long time ago. Fucking freak. And you're like on
Resident
about
Evil
me being
4
weird.
reference if nobody gets that and just thinks I'm
Yeah.
a massive pervert. But right, some other good things. Fast travel. You want to go to
Yeah.
Japan? Oh, I'll just
Yeah.
fast travel there tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, just now. However long the loading screen takes.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Like you just have like a drop down menu or something and you're like, yeah, I'll go there.
You'd have to imagine it'd be places you've already been, but if you just went wherever Japan wants, you could just go there. You
Yeah,
know, I could
I
just
thought
nip there and be like,
That
oh, I'm
is a
hungry.
double-edged sword.
I'm hungry, I'll get
Like,
some Japanese
every
ramen
time-
or whatever.
Every time you walk through a door, you have to open the door really, really slowly. And then therell be a small loading screen.
That-
Things would take time.
Only for things
But
like fast travel and stuff.
It'd save money on, like, you don't have to do a return flight.
Yeah.
So, like, if you wanted to go to Australia, like, to get there and back, it's like $1,000 or something. Or like $2,000, I don't know.
You'd have to imagine there'd be
But, like,
fast travel
regardless-
points, so it couldn't just be anywhere. But yeah, it'd be like an airport. It'd be like a fast travel airport or something, or terminal.
Oh, like in Wreck-It Ralph.
Mm.
Have you seen Wreck-It Ralph, Nathan?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, something
you know-
like that.
Yeah. Mm, yeah.
Or your Homeward Bones.
Homeward
Huh?
Bones. What's that?
In Dark Souls, you just carry around a bag of bones and you can use them
Oh,
to get
yeah,
home.
Or even like in Harry Potter, you go into your chimney and go to Diagon Alley or whatever.
Diagon Alley.
So that would be a cool one.
Diagonally.
Another thing, massive inventories. Oh, I've not got space in my pocket. Oh, don't worry, I can fit 3 swords, 1 gun,
A bazooka.
500 high potions.
Or the infinite chest from Resident Evil. So even when you go 50 miles away, you put your hand in,
Yeah.
get out whatever you've left at home. Nice.
Exactly. Or you go around your mate's house and you can just fucking, whatever, get your games console out or whatever. Put it in your little box. But yeah, massive inventories. Obviously, you wouldn't want any encumberment because that would be really inconvenient. Just sort of walking super slow everywhere, like an old granny or something. Oh, sorry, mate, I'm over encumbered.
What else would be good?
Skill trees. So you could put whatever currency you've got or your sphere grids in your skill tree and level up your skill set or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Like,
being able to enhance your abilities and stuff like that. Or,
yeah.
I don't know if it'd have to be equivalent to what you know or whether you could just, level it up into anything you wanted, but,
Also, like, another one on the health thing, like, just the general being able to take a kick in. Like, in real life, we get shot once, we're probably going to die. Like, if we get in a game, then we get shot about 10 times and we're like, oh, nearly there.
Oh shit, my screen's going grey. Quick, I better take
Fuck's sakes. Oh, there's blood splatters, everyone. It's throbbing.
Or in something weird like Gears of War, there's a weird Gears logo starting to appear in front of my face. Oh no.
Let's get to safety.
But yeah, it'd be kind of handy. It'd definitely make bar brawls a little bit more interesting, wouldn't it? It'd be like, they start shooting each other with shotguns or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, you bastard!" "Oh, you shot me in the face with that shotgun. That really hurt." Whatever.
And you could jump from really high places without hurting yourself. Like, it would just take a little bit of your health away.
Yeah, no fall damage.
Instead of breaking your legs and shattering them.
No fall damage would be kind of good, wouldn't it? You just jump off. I climbed all the way up this mountain. You just jump off and be like, oh.
Or like in Bloodborne when you're going down ladders and stuff, Lou, and you can do that thing where you press circle and it shoots you down real fast without getting your hands burnt.
People can actually do that. I've seen it.
Well, then they're freaks.
Yeah, but you need gloves or something. You can just do it.
Yeah, but have you seen there's
I've seen people slide down ladders, firemen and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. But there's one in Bloodborne where it's you're going down. I can't even fucking remember. Where you're going down all towards all the Suri bit, and the pigs down there and stuff. There's that really fucking long ladder. Excuse me. I'd like to see them do that.
There's not that many ladders around though. Also,
how much of a cool trick would it be?
Why are you hanging out in the sewers in real life?
We give you anything.
I'm doing it in real life.
Anything you want to do anything that you can do in a video game, and the thing that comes to your mind is sliding down fucking ladders in sewers.
No, you just misunderstood me. Not what I meant, you dickwad.
I hate to be awful and everything, but haven't you got better things to do with your time?
Look, I've came up with some good ones, right?
And I'm teasing. It's all good. It's all good.
Whatever.
Right.
Suck it.
Some other things, interesting worlds, yeah, and things to do. There's always interesting things to explore and cool worlds and different people and things. There's always cool shit going on somewhere in, you know, and you could just walk there as opposed to like, I don't know, just nip into the shop. It's not it's super entertaining. Whereas you could like, I don't know, fucking
ride your chocobo there.
Exactly, ride your chocobo into an ancient ruin and find a fucking summon or something.
Oh, that'd be cool. Like just being able to like, because like in some games, like people kind of, I don't know if pet's the right word, but like, you know, I can't really think of many games now, but like weird animals and shit, like fucking tigers and stuff or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like,
or a fairy to tell you when something interesting was nearby.
yeah.
Like in Zelda.
Yeah.
That could be
Hey,
annoying.
look!
Though.
All the time.
Hey, you've made a cup of coffee. Hey, there's sugar over there. Hey, put milk in it. Shut the fuck up!
Careful, milk's out of date.
Shut up! I'm trying to sleep.
You nearly had a toilet roll. It could be quite useful.
I think I'd fucking cast Doom on myself if that happened.
I think that'd be kind of cool. They'd be like reminding you like your dentist appointments and stuff.
Yeah, that's called. That exists. It's called like Siri or whatever. You know?
Cereal.
Siri. It's in your phone,
Siri.
innit? Or Cortana or whatever it's called.
Yeah, mine don't do that shit.
Yeah, it probably does. What phone have you got? Android. I don't know. Is Android? Can you get Siri on
I'm
Android?
sure you could like.
I'm sure
There's
an equivalent.
also like the old-fashioned version, which is called a diary.
Yeah.
Quite useful.
That
also.
shit don't work. It doesn't like pop up and like nag ya until you fucking remember, and it doesn't like, you know,
No,
even
but you
if I
can put it
put
in
an
your
alarm on my
calendar.
phone,
You've
so I
got
can
one of those
snooze it.
already. It's
put it
called
in-
Mum.
You can put it in your calendar. can't you?
Ah, yes. Good point. That is a really good point, actually. There's like the amount of times my mum's texted me the night before. Remember, you've got blah blah blah, and I've gone, oh fuck, and then I had to go get prepared for it. So yeah,
Yeah, but-
you're right. You're right.
But does she glow and does she like, you know, sound like a pixie? Hey.
No, she's more
do
like
If you
does
asked
this
her real
shrill
nicely,
shriek.
though.
Yeah. Hey mum, you know when you wake me up? Like, just do it in a real soft voice.
You're not gonna what? She starts acting like a pixie. That'll freak you the fuck out.
Can you imagine?
You'd be like, "Get the
In a
fuck
little
out.
pixie hat and everything.
You want crack or something? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, it'd probably give me nightmares instead.
So you know, perhaps not the best idea. The last one I've got is respawning, which is kind of like reincarnation in a way, but like, you know,
Everything's where you left it.
you died. Oh well, I'll just go back to my last save point or just respawn.
I'll probably
wherever.
like this time when I cross the road, I'll look both ways, not just one.
Yeah, Nathan.
The upshot would probably be as well like wars. Wars would be like esports instead of people actually like dying and shit. So it'd be like whoever your best, you know, Call of Duty player is or whatever.
That is a good point. That is a very good point. See, we're all thinking selfishly. We're like, oh yeah, just pop to the shop. Oh, we could find some treasure. I'm not thinking about the big story here.
That's the good
Big
stuff.
picture.
Though. Treasure.
Yeah, treasure and fucking, you know, save points. I think save points would just be so the best. It'd be like, I'm tired. I can't be fucked to do that. I'm going to just go to one of the save points just right before I go bed.
I've got a good one as well. Skipping the cutscenes.
Yeah.
Skipping the bullshit.
How
Yeah, that'd
nice
be amazing.
would that be? You got to go to a meeting. Skip.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah,
And you still know exactly what you've got to do. Oh no.
yeah, it all would have happened though, wouldn't it? Or maybe
I don't know, but there's been a few times.
No, I know what it'd be. You'd skip the cutscene and then you just go watch a video on YouTube about what happened the past 24 hours. Just like a
Yeah,
recap
okay, no,
video
probably
or
would
something.
You wouldn't need to because it'd go into your notes section.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but if you ever accidentally like skipped something like on a game and stuff, and then you've gone, oh fuck, what the hell just happened? Like, where am I? Like, you know, and then like obviously you go along and you kind of plod along and you're like, it's
Yeah,
like,
but
have you seen them TV shows where like, I don't know, they, like movies where like they like body switch or like something changes or whatever and they're like a different person and stuff and they're like just going along, not a fucking clue, and they slowly start picking up what happened. It'd just be like
Yeah,
that all
but
the time.
there'd be miraculously be a Let's Play video online for you to watch what happened.
A recap.
You know, PewDiePie.
Or you could get your little fairy and they could just
would have
recap
played
it.
the past 8 hours of your life, and you get to hear him fucking scream like a girl about what just happened or whatever. You know, you could just skip through to the the good points or whatever.
The highlights, nice.
Yeah, exactly. I think save points would be the best one for me. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff there, but like, just being able to go play back, whatever you wanted, or or you could just try something out, and if you die, you just go back to, wherever,
Like, is it? I can't remember what it's in, isn't it? Oh, there's a game I suppose ago. Or like, they do it in that Harvest Moon where like it's like, oh, it's time to go sleep now, and like you have it like, I don't know, 10 hours sleep in just like a few seconds. That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Anything that like
sleeping's awesome on its own.
Yeah, sleeping
sucks.
that would suck a bit. And another good thing. This is probably mixes in with films probably as much, if not more so. But like background music and stuff. Like every time I go sleep, having the Final Fantasy music kick off. Oh
no! Yeah, like you're walking down an alley and like you're about to get mugged, and you just hear this like kind of music. Like, oh shit! I'll go the other way.
That's it. If you accept the nice safe room music, then you've got to accept like the tension music.
And whenever you do something good, it'd be like.
But do you have to like pose as well?
Cup of tea or something.
Do you have to do a victory pose?
Yeah, exactly. You have to swing your cup around your finger and then put your hand on your hip and look to the camera that doesn't exist.
Are you actually doing the actions, Nathan?
Oh yeah, like a lunatic, and wink, ching. The little blink happens. And then afterwards, it goes through and tells you how many experience points you got for like making coffee or whatever.
You know when people are going to lie to you? I don't know, you make, like mum a coffee and so she's like, it's really nice. And if you've got like really shit experience points, you're like, fucking bitch.
Why'd you lie to me? I need
Why
2,000 experience points for this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See? Great ideas.
I think it'd be dope. I think we could save the world with this. We just need to make it happen.
Somehow.
We could
some way.
truly make the world great with a lot of these things. I like the trophy one as well. I think that's quite good. Like we were saying, like someone just pops up and was like, "Good job, here's a trophy."
You wiped your ass thoroughly today.
It wouldn't. It wouldn't just be for that though. It could be like they could use it to try and encourage you to do actually good stuff, like jog 10 miles. Here's a bronze trophy or whatever.
Yeah. You've made 5 friends.
So, that sort of stuff. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
We got any other ones, or should we leave it here?
I think we probably exhausted it.
It's good stuff though. Like I so wish save points were real so badly. I've thought about it so many times. It'd be so good.
Oh, if only I was on the game right now.
Who needs this real life shit? It's overrated. Video games are where it's at. What are the most memorable video game moments to you? Moments that shook your understanding of the world, or gaming memories that stuck with you. For example, akin to spoilers for, like a 30-year-old film, when Darth Vader announces in Star Wars he's Luke's dad. Moments like that, they're like, what the fuck is happening here? What is going on?
In fairness, you should put a massive spoiler tag on this.
Yeah, to be fair, we're going to be talking about games, probably a lot of older games. But yeah, there will be some spoilers and stuff. But if you've not played games that are like 5 or 10 years old, I can't help you. So. But yeah, they shouldn't be, they're not going to be like too relevant, I wouldn't imagine. But significant ones that everybody should know about. But yeah. So yeah, I've got a few. I mean, if you guys want to shoot, if you've got any in mind, and I'll speak about mine or whatever.
The first thing that I remember, I don't know if it's gonna be so mind blowing to everyone else, but it's recent one, Resident Evil 6. When all of a sudden this big fucking zombie T-Rex comes down. The fuck's that all about?
I literally haven't played that far. I think the most memorable and shocking moment of that game is that it existed. Because it was shit.
I quite liked it.
It was dreadful. You've got a poor taste.
Very, very bad.
Well, it was the first game I played after my, you know, my resting period, I guess, if you want to call it.
That
So,
sounded
like,
wrong.
you know, I was, yeah, well, fuck you. But yeah, I just thought it was, you know, quite unexpected.
I suppose if you'd never played a Resident Evil up to that point, it wouldn't be like a dreadful game. But if you have played Resident Evil before that, it is a
Oh my god,
dreadful game.
in comparison to like Resident Evil 4, it took a massive shit, but not took a massive shit.
You played Resident Evil
You
before
get
that, though. How could you then...
4?
You played 4 before 6.
I don't know. Yeah. What's your point? Yeah, it was alright. It's not like I'm like fucking fangirling over it. Like, you know, like my favourite game in the world's fucking Resident Evil 6. I enjoyed it. I liked how, you know, like all the fucking...
Giant dinosaurs.
Giant zombie
Exactly.
dinosaurs.
I loved it.
Where did the
pastime.
dinosaur even come from?
I don't know. That's what I mean.
I must have blotted it out of my memory.
I don't recall that happening, so I must have not done whatever mission that is.
I remember doing it.
Who's
because
it with?
I
What
remember getting really
characters?
pissed off.
What character is
Huh?
it with?
Ugh, fucking...
Because I'm pretty sure I beat Leon, and I got
it's some-
most
I think it's...
way through Chris.
Is it with Ada? Because I
Ada?
remember them, it's... Yeah, I can't fucking remember. They're in some big bastard, like, fucking RV thing, or well, not RV, like an army car thing.
I think
And they've
you're
got, like, a
thinking
gun
of
on the back of
Jurassic
it.
Park. That's
I'm
Jurassic
not.
Park, mate.
I've never played Jurassic Park. I remember, because I remember getting so pissed off because I was pressing this fucking button, this trigger button, trying to kill it, all this time, and then, like, bitching about it because it wasn't happening, and then it turns out, all these fucking times I've been trying to do it, I was pressing the wrong button.
Yeah,
There you go.
sounds like you.
But yeah, the point is, there's a dinosaur in it. I'll Google it.
Come on then. Get Nathan, give us a real moment.
Should we give you a proper one? All right, it has to be one of the
Fuck
biggest, most
Mine was
memorable.
proper.
It was a proper shit one in a proper shit game.
Fuck you. You're shit guy.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Uh,
Come on.
Right,
What you
it's
got?
an obvious one. It's probably a bit cliche, but Eris getting killed in Final Fantasy VII.
on
Again,
my
this
list.
is like a 20-year-old game, so if you haven't played it by now, shame on you, not me. All right?
By
Yeah.
the way, Eris gets killed.
Oh yeah. By the way, spoilers: Eris gets killed. Because it's like you weren't expecting it.
You play through the whole of the first disc, which is gotta be 20 odd hours.
Yeah, probably.
Gotta be. You level up this character. You work on them.
Yeah, you start to, love and appreciate them for their story, and you're engaged with them or whatever. And
In fact, she's the center point of the story.
for a while, yeah, like she becomes
It's based around her, isn't
she becomes she becomes not only like the main love interest in a way, and there's a bit of a there's a significant weird love
There's
triangle.
a tug of war going on.
Yeah, and then and aside from that sex stuff, the tug of war, and there's also the love triangle. So sorry, I'm cutting out myself. But also beyond that, she's key to the whole story with with Sephiroth, and even the Mako energy and all that shit, and the life source of the planet and Genova.
She
and all
seems
that.
absolutely central
She's
at that point.
really
doesn't she?
tied into it, especially at that point. She's like a significant key part, to that story, and it just wasn't. It didn't seem in the tone of the game per se, and it just wasn't a thing for that time period to kill off one of your main characters. I don't know if this is correct, but I think does the equipment go with her, even if whatever you've equipped on her?
Yes.
I think it does, doesn't it? I think you lose the equipment. So
It is possible though to get her ultimate weapon
is it?
before she dies, so you can kind of complete it. I think you have to do that for trophies in some of the newer versions.
Yeah.
Yes, in 4.
But it's
On the PS4 even.
because of this, because of how engaged you are, and because you're not used to this in video games at this point in time, it is genuinely a bit like a bereavement. You feel like you've genuinely lost something quite important, and it just blew your mind because it just wasn't a thing back then. It's not really a thing now. You don't really get many main characters die and stuff, in things. I can't. I mean, there are a few instances of it, but I can't think of many cases where that happens, where one of the main characters and who's key and pivotal to the story just dies out of nowhere. It's like proper like shakes your fucking worldview on, like, not literally on the world, but on like the game, it properly like
Oh yeah.
fucks with your head and stuff.
I think there's enough people out there that will say, "Oh my god,"
Yeah,
they were there and they felt it with you.
yeah, exactly.
Because you were speechless. You were.
Yeah. You didn't know. You were like, well, am I going to get it back? You thought, no, there's some way.
Can't be true.
There'll be some fucking magical stone that will revive her or something or whatever. Spoilers again. She's dead.
She's dead.
She's dead. Like proper dead. So yeah, that's like one of the biggest and most obvious ones or whatever. Yeah. Do you want to? Have you got any, Lou? Or I've got a few more.
I've got a good one.
Things.
Mainly Silent Hill 2, but also in other Silent Hills.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
I've got a little like side note here for like the early Silent Hills and Resident Evils, and not so much per se even things that happen necessarily in the story, but just the eeriness of certain things, like just creeping around those mansions and stuff. It's incredibly memorable, and I think that's the thing that a lot of games miss these days, that are a major issue, is like they don't have memorable atmospheres. The atmosphere of that place is like a character and a story in itself, So.
But the big one, obviously, is that James, who you play as from the start, play through the game and you find out information, and you get a message from your wife to meet you at Silent Hill. Come the end of the game, you realise that you euthanized your wife because she was incredibly ill. You're the bad guy.
Well, you're not per se a bad guy, because that's not a bad thing to do. But it's like, you're not. There's a reason for you being there. You're not necessarily entirely innocent, and it's based on your guilt.
Oh my God, he killed his wife. Yeah. That's what a lot of Silent Hill is about. It's based on guilt that you carry.
Yeah.
Yes, but that was shocking.
Yeah, it's based on. Sorry, I was having a drink there. Yeah, it's based on your, your own guilt and stuff, and like, it's like one of those big what the fuck moments. Is like, you weren't expecting that. You're supposed to be the good guy. I mean, not that is per se bad, because like things like Dignitas exist for stuff like that, and I think that's probably all right. But it's, it shows that not everything's clear cut, not everything's black and white, And again, at that earlier point in games, like that shit's revolutionary,
It reoccurs in other Silent Hills after that, but the first time was really shocking.
Yeah, the first time's the best, but because you weren't after that point. It's become part of the lore, as that's just a thing. So you expect some sort of twist, at some point as you go through or whatever. Another one that I had is I've specifically picked BioShock Infinite, but this happens essentially in all BioShocks. Is like, a big twist at the end,
a twisty.
So like, again, spoilers, BioShock Infinite, basically at the end of it, you find out the character you are is like is traveled like through time and like even maybe dimensions, and you are Booker DeWitt in the game, but you are Comstock. You are the bad guy that is trying to stop you. And this is one version of you that decided to stay in what's it called, Columbia or whatever. I think it's called Columbia.
That's it. Basically, they're like two alternate paths, aren't they? Columbia and Rapture. One went under the sea and one went into the sky.
But yeah, that's it. It's like and the whole parallel worlds thing, and like that totally blew my mind. Where you're going into the lighthouse or whatever, and then there's all these other lighthouses, and you go into Rapture, and then you go into all the other dimensions of like Columbia and stuff, and you see all the other Elizabeths and things like that. It's like that for me was like, total blew my mind. That made that game, which to be fair up to that point was average for me. It was okay, maybe good, maybe a good game, but then that ending like made it perhaps a great game for me, because that really was a payoff.
I think all the BioShocks have had a really great twist in them, though. One is the one that I've not played, but it's well known for the programming thing. where all the way through somebody keeps mentioning this phrase.
Yeah.
And you realise that you're programmed to act on this phrase when you hear it.
Yeah.
But he uses it all the way through, and you don't realise till
You're
the
essentially
end.
being led down the garden path. You're like a puppet for your like father, essentially.
And I think in the second one,
I've not played that one.
I like it. In the second one, it's just a bit more like of the metaphorical. You're a big daddy protecting your little sister. But what you find out at the end, I think, is that you actually are her father.
Yeah.
Or something like that. You know, you are actually were related to the President Lamb or whatever. But BioShock loves doing the mindfucks.
Yeah,
even
it
from
does.
The first, so.
And it was such a good payoff, that ending, particularly in Infinite, and even in BioShock 1. You know, and I really liked how it tied the other BioShocks in with it. You know, it didn't just like ignore them, didn't just make it its own mindfuck, which it could have done just with the whole Comstock thing. But it you know, weaved Rapture up into it as, you know, this is not per se Booker DeWitt in a parallel dimension, but it's like, you know, a different timeline has created
The alternate.
yeah, it's created an alternate, you know, what if scenario, and instead it's this other guy instead of Booker DeWitt, you know. So I thought that was amazing. Like, not only was it the mindfuck that instead of like Darth Vader, you know, I am your father, I am you, you fucking idiot. And but it, on top of that, it linked in all the other games, and even all the other fucking twists in all the other games. It linked them all in, so they all, you know, made sense or whatever. I thought that was fucking a coup de grace in terms of endings and fucking, you know, fucking with people's heads and stuff. So, people might say it's a bit like cliche or whatever, but I think it was really cool. I really like that.
Well done.
It's one of the most recent ones that was particularly memorable for me. So, yeah. Anybody got any others even?
I think.
Oh, go ahead.
There's not many, to be honest, that shout out to me and go, oh my god, yeah, I know exactly what he's on about. You know, I remember this. But one thing that did get me, and I was like, what the fuck, is in The Last of Us, when they're going, like, if anyone's not played it,
I was going to say that one too as well.
Oh, are you? Like, when they're
not
going through...
but yeah, it's on my list.
When they're, like, going through, you know, they've gone through all this... Well, actually... Could there be two... Okay, anyway, so they're going through fucking all this shit, battling all these clickers and stuff, and fucking meeting all these bastard people, and blah, blah, blah. And then, you know...
Actually, have you finished it yet?
Yeah, I beat it a few weeks ago. A couple of weeks ago, maybe.
Oh, okay, cool. I forgot about that. And Ellie's kind of like, you know, for some reason I've not turned into one even though I've been bit. And they're trying to find this place, and they're trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. And then they basically, you know, she's so pumped up for this.
Fireflies.
Yeah.
Want to chop her head off?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
They want to fucking...
They basically need like the sample. They need to get the sample, and the only way to do that is to kill her. So.
Yeah. And I was like, after that, all that shit they've been through,
this
fucking fireflies, and you want to fucking.
To be fair, I get why.
So you were totally on Joel's side then.
I get why.
Yeah. Because a lot of people lean the other way
I get
and say for
why
greater good.
why he
went
that road.
Yeah.
Because of everything he'd been through, and it makes sense for him as going through all that shit and being so dogged and fighting to keep her alive. Yeah. It's like the perfect storm in that scenario. But you've got to say the Fireflies had a point. They're trying to save the world, and how many other little girls are going to die in that meantime? You know.
Yeah. No, it's a very good point.
He'd
completely.
come to think of her as his daughter. Could you hand over yours?
I'm not saying that but I wasn't as.
But he understands where the Fireflies come from. Yeah, I get it. Like, I understand greater good and all that kind of stuff. And I think the only negative thoughts I had about Joel doing that was like, oh, Joel, like, Ellie's gonna fucking hate you. She's gonna, because she wanted it, she was like, just do it. Just let them do it. Like, you know, I'm gonna save all these people and make the world right and stuff.
He took a choice away.
Like, oh, man, he did take that choice away. that's the only thing that I was like, oh man, like that was a real fucking
It's a great
emotional
moral
part.
dilemma, actually.
It is,
It's
yeah.
an excellent one.
Yeah.
And I think that might come into play because there's plenty of hints that another one is on its way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't.
also-
There
don't-
was something
heard-
in the Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
They
little
made a slip,
tiny
didn't they?
secret, and basically
Wasn't there like a
in one of the
poster on a wall or
rooms,
something?
There's a poster on
Yeah.
the wall, and it
Oh,
looks like Ellie in a gas mask, pregnant,
Ooh.
and it's got a title saying "Last of Us: American Daughters."
No
But
way.
You could
Oh
blink
my
and you'd
God.
miss it. It's just a tiny little poster on the wall, and people found it.
No
and
way.
they're made by the same company, aren't they?
Yeah, Naughty Dog.
Oh my God, that's
Naughty
just giving
Dog.
me fucking. Because I was gonna say I heard a thingy. It was an interview about. I'm sure it was Uncharted or whatever, and they basically said they were referencing to The Last of Us, and they said, oh, and like when like something like when the next Last of Us comes out, or when The Last of Us 2 something. It wasn't if we make another one, it was when, or it. Do you know what I mean? They made it a positive, and everyone just fucking went into uproar. But they were saying, like, some of the things that I read, they didn't think that they were going to do a follow-on from Joel and Ellie. They thought it was going to be in the same world, but like a different part, and then Joel and Ellie would like kind of come into a little bit.
Play
But
their
man,
part.
that's cool.
I would like that.
That's
Though.
gonna be
I would kind of like
amazing.
to see a different story. I don't mind if the Joel and Ellie story's there, but I think it'd be
To
cool
be fair,
show two
The
stories.
picture that you see,
Yeah.
you should all have a little look at the image.
I'm gonna have a
The
look now.
picture that you see, I say Ellie, it's got a similar kind of hair
Yeah.
colour and ponytail, but the person is wearing a gas mask.
I think
so,
it-
you know,
Yeah, that's the point. She doesn't.
May
She
not
doesn't
be.
need to. I think what would be interesting is if you were, or like you split into two stories. So you were Ellie and Joel, but you were also a Firefly agent hunting Ellie and Joel. So you could get to see the two ideologies and then the two different dynamics and then their struggles, and you know what would that reach us at the end? But I think that
but
would be kind of cool.
we may see what happens with
Oh,
the fallout
shit,
of that
yeah.
decision.
Yeah, they're gonna
Pretty cool.
have to, even if cursory or I don't know.
Wait,
if that's
no,
the word,
Ellie's a
but-
lesbian.
Yes,
So, to be fair,
you don't know she's a lesbian.
She's really young, and
She could
Yeah.
be bi,
you know,
and
let's not judge.
what if she decided to do it for science?
Maybe she's doing it
Possibly.
because of like
Or
to pass it on to.
people-
Oh no, they wouldn't want to do that.
People just change their minds as well, or like
Yeah, I
you say,
guess
they
so.
like both, or
Mm.
you know, some things you do when you're young are not necessarily what you do when you're grown up.
They look short as well. She was quite short.
I personally, I'd
Oh,
like
you're
to see
looking at
another.
it
I'd
now.
like to see
Yeah,
another
yeah,
story
yeah.
as well as. I think I'd like to see both. I think I'd like to see a new story and the old story being touched on. But anywho, yeah, that's
I think it'd be good enough to have some little cameos, and that'd be good.
yeah.
And then, yeah, a new group.
I think that's a future memorable moment as opposed to a current one or whatever. Is there any others?
I was just tying it together. What?
No. I'm just saying, like,
It's a
little
memorable
off topic.
moment that is not finished and come
No,
to its
no,
conclusion,
that's true.
which is interesting.
that is true.
Just one or two older ones. Shadow of the Colossus
I've not played that.
is a brilliant game.
Yeah.
It's quite low key. You go out and you hunt these kind of
Colossus.
giant colossus, these gentle giants and everything.
Is it Colossi?
And
Because there's multiple.
I don't know about pluralizing it, but yeah. So you go out and you keep killing these guys, and what you find out as you go through it is that basically the colossuses, colossi, hold little pieces of the bad guy's soul,
Yeah.
and you are basically killing guardians. And when you kill the last colossus, this Dormin, this bad guy, basically comes together and possesses you,
Yeah.
and takes over the world. You're a total bad guy.
Yeah.
You're being
More
played.
like a naive puppet by the sounds of it, but yeah.
But that's a bit of a shocker.
Yeah, it's it's
And
definitely a good take
although
on things.
they're big and frightening, they're actually completely you know, non-hostile.
Yeah.
They leave you alone. You're picking the fights.
Yeah,
and
that
it's
is always
terrible.
the thing. It's like
That makes you really sad.
you
Some of them are quite cute.
from what I've seen of it is you learn as you're going along that they're kind of benign and part of nature, and you're just fucking slaying them, like, you know, for whatever, for your gain or whatever. And you obviously you don't know you're being tricked, you know, being played for a sucker. So
Lame.
You promised help. You come with I forget all the details. It was a long time ago, but you come with a woman who's dying,
yeah,
and you want to help her, probably the love interest or whatever. And yeah, and you do all this in exchange for saving her life. In fairness to the bad guy, she does wake up and she's better at the end. And also, that's where the tie into Aiko comes. She gives birth to like a horned child.
Nice.
is that in Ico?
Little kid with horns, and that's what the kids like in Ico.
Yeah,
Ah.
it'd be interesting
So
to
it's
see
like,
if there's any.
it's a backstory to Ico or something like that.
Yeah, like a prequel or something.
Cool.
A link, but not a direct link. It's not that child, but I think it's his
Offspring,
species, maybe.
But it'd be interesting as well to see if there's any, you know, any parity with The Last Guardian. You
Last
know,
Guardian.
things like that. So that could be quite interesting.
They're very atmospheric games. They're simplistic. There's nothing else to do in Shadow of the Colossus, but I loved it.
Yeah, I never played it.
It just gives you great scope. It's not a long game. It's very short.
I don't know if it's something I'd go back to. There's just so many games these days, but I'd like to give Last
It's
Guardian
worth
a go.
seeing it. Like, you're this little tiny ant, and you've got to like literally climb up this creature.
I've seen
It's
videos
amazing.
on it. It looks cool. But yeah, is there any others? Because I'm all out.
I'm out.
I don't know. There's loads of good ones. Probably loads. Red Dead Redemption.
I don't
Did
know
you
if
play that, Nate?
I don't know. I never played it. I don't think. So it's one I want to. I mean, if it was on PC, I would.
I'll shut up then.
Sure, I would.
There's a big twisty at the end of Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, is there? Well, yeah, we'll pass on that because you know, I would like. I'd like to. I don't know how I'm gonna get to
You wanna
playing
play it
because
before
I'm sure
the new
that
one
I'm
comes
sure
out?
yeah, I wouldn't mind playing it before the new one comes out. I might play it on PlayStation now, see what if that thing's actually any good, because that's about the only game I'm interested enough to give that a try.
That's a sweet game.
So.
Ocarina of Time, where you find out that in the future the weird ninja guy Shake, who's helped you all the way through, is actually Princess Zelda grown up.
Yeah, that's quite a cool one. It's good though because at least it gives girls someone they can relate to. I think especially at the time when that was less of a thing, there weren't many female characters. So it's cool to then suddenly be like, maybe Zelda's not just some damsel in distress or whatever.
Some pretty princess, yeah. Good
That's
stuff.
kind of cool. Okay, well, I think we've covered it. I think we've covered enough. I think we've talked about some good things and spoiled enough games for, I'm sure, people that haven't played some of them. But yeah, it's nice to think back on these moments because these are the moments that shape the sort of gamer you are and sort of games that you're into and stuff. And they can be just as poignant, in fact, probably more so as like films and books and stuff. So I think it's a cool thing to reflect upon. Wow, that's this month's Recon Cast done and dusted. I hope you enjoyed our shenanigans and tomfoolery, and don't forget to join in with our nonsense by posting your ideas for future topics in the comments. And as well as a name check, your topic could feature in an upcoming episode. Anywho, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more BS of a similar nature. Thank you, and goodbye.